Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer, and we are returning to Master of Command. I've done some math in the meantime, and I'm very excited to share some of the findings in regards to what we're going to do to prepare for defeating the enemy headquarters, which is going to come for us in 20 days. That's fairly soon. Now, what I had to look at is especially reload. And I was considering whether we're going to use the Potsdam muskets going forward or the land pattern muskets. Their main difference is a little bit of accuracy and a little bit of reload speed. Now, the accuracy, firstly, I was under the impression, this is 20%, this is 25%, this is just a quarter more, so they're going to do a quarter more damage, because accuracy does tell us, when we hover over it, how much damage we are dealing. Not sure whether that's linear, but that was my guess. I was ignoring a thing, and that is units do have their inherent accuracy due to unit stats, veterancy, items, officers, all the stuff that's listed down there. So that's not really a quarter more, that's just 5 more out of like a lot. So yeah, you can see it's 76 versus 82. So this is really not that much of a deal as I thought. On the other hand, the row below that, the reload speed, that is a bit more substantial. That is just how much that is. And you can see the computation here is a bit different, because it just translates that into a second. And if we use that, this doesn't increase the number in and of itself. It just changes sort of the reload speed as such. And that means, I looked at that in more close detail, and I was considering this is probably sort of proportional to the reload speed. So the more reload number you have, the higher it goes up. No. It's not that. What actually happens is that when this number increases, the overall shooting time goes down by a little bit less than 1% of the baseline, which means that basically every step further on the reload speed means that you're going to be shooting volleys of faster and faster and faster. This is basically exponential, or sort of inversely hyperbolic. And that means that sort of at a point of around 140 or so reload speed, you'd be shooting off in basically no time, in 0 seconds. So that is a super interesting finding to me, and one that I'm very excited about. What does that mean for our guns? Now, I think that means we are going to look for guns that do indeed shoot fast. Now, this is not particularly, there's no direct influence between these. This is just sort of independent. It reduces it by, as I said, a little bit less than 1% of the baseline of whatever rifle you're equipping. So you want to maximize that anyway, and then you can sort of consider the rifle separate from that. That being said, I think we want to double down on that advantage and just keep on luring volley and volley after that. So that, to me, means that the Potsdam rifles are potentially the way to go. Again, the accuracy change here is not that much of a difference. We've also got the Charleville muskets. They are even slower firing. And the only advantage here is sort of the range, which again is nice, but let's see about that. The Freikorps guys, they're going to keep on with the Yongping muskets, but let's see what muskets we actually got over here. Now, I want to especially look at the good muskets. There is a good Potsdam rifle. I certainly want to use that. Just compare that to the ordinary Potsdam rifle. That is 20, 125, and 29. 24, so 4% better accuracy. Sort of, how much? 6 better range. Same aiming time, but I just really like increase in range and accuracy. So that's a no-brainer to me. There are a couple of other ones. There's the Delft musket. Now, I don't really like, I don't think we have got any Delft, right? No, there's no, yeah, there's a comparison here. Now, normally I don't really like the Delft. The accuracy is just really, really bad, right? I mean, yeah, 4% point difference, that's not big, but 10%, that really starts to be a big difference. Yeah, it has slightly better range than, let's say, a Potsdam rifle. 10 more. Slightly worse, 10% or so worse reloading. But, yeah, I don't like the accuracy. On the slightly better ones, that range increase, another 7, kind of like that. It almost becomes a very long range gun, right? And then we've got the Tula. Now, the Tula muskets, do we have some of them? No, I don't think so, right? I don't know their baseline numbers, so to say. But what I do like, 24, that's almost the same, right? It doesn't have the range, but it is fairly rapid firing. And if we compare to, let's say, a basic Potsdam, it almost has the same range, right? That's almost the same. It has slightly better accuracy. Not really that worthwhile, is it? It has much better melee and charge. So this is something that potentially our Grenadiers might equip. Really becomes sort of... Yeah, I mean, the accuracy is much better. Range is basically the same. Firing speed is slightly better. Not sure whether it's worth 160 though. That being said, I think the Delft muskets, they are pretty much a no-brainer. Simply because of the range. Even though, yeah, the accuracy is slightly behind. So we're going to buy these two. And then we're going to buy something else. And that is in the Staff College here. We've got the military treaties from Frederick II, which does give us reload. And remember, the more reload we have, the more valuable reload becomes. So that's super nice. Now that is basically half of our money. But let's look at our Freikorps Jägers here. These guys have a whooping 55 base unit stat in reloading. Plus 10% from veterancy and plus 20% from the officer and our doctrine here. So that is really, really nice. Let's see what we can do over here. Now the accuracy is useful, and I would really like to keep the ammo consumption low because they're going to fire off their volleys fairly soon. But let's get rid of the accuracy here for a moment. Get this guy, 106. They're using the reserve muskets here at a rate of 11 per second. Let's give these guys, I think, the good Potsdam muskets so that they can make use of the slightly better accuracy and make their shots count. 7.3 seconds. 7.3 seconds. This is huge. I think this is fantastic. 7.3. Let's see whether we can do anything better. Got a reload of 4 here on these things. Was there something in the quartermaster? It was a little bit better even? No, I don't think so. Reload 8, we've got stuff like that. I don't think anything on the staff is giving us, well, we can increase accuracy, but at cost of reload. We might actually put these guys on the super low reload, super low firing guys. They're good for normal skirmishes, but with Prussia, with the Freikorps Jägers, man, oh man, this is a machine gun in terms of these guns. The normal guys here are shooting sort of every 40 seconds. That is 5 or 6 volleys. Let's call that 6 volleys in the same time. 5 volleys. In the same times that these guys are shooting 1. Fantastic. It's gonna be so good. I really, really love this setup now. And if we can get good further stuff there, then I'm gonna be so happy. I don't think there's anything on the gunsmith. No. I don't think there's anything in the town square. Well, wait a minute. We've got the coffee, don't we? So you guys have another reload of 6. You can't fit that in, but I am going to buy that. Man, under 6 seconds. Yeah, now these guys are firing 6 times as fast as sort of a normal recruit unit. The only thing is they're going to burn through their ammunition so quickly. But man, I do think this is a fantastic setup. I really love that. These guys are going to be gods of war, I think, at this stage. Right. I think we're going to try to do something in the long term with these guys too. I don't think we can do that right now because we don't have that many more sort of ammo, sort of faster reload things. Nothing over here. Well, we could buy stuff like that, but I don't know that we have the money for it. Speaking of money, now your accuracy here is slightly better, no? Your accuracy is 30 and yours is also 30, plus a couple of items that you've got that increases further. I don't know whether this is linear or not, but I'm wondering whether you should be getting the slightly more accurate version. Well, no, wait a minute, this is the other way around, right? So you could actually get the long range ones, and that would actually be nice because you can stand behind these guys and take advantage of the difference and sort of double down on the fire there. Ammo consumption reduction is good. Do we have something that increases accuracy for you since you're using the slightly lower? You don't have that many things. Okay. Oh no, wait. Okay, you're gonna get the tobacco. That puts you at 61. Sort of the same as you. That's fine. Fire damage received, accuracy +4. That's actually okay. Could do more movement speed here. Don't think that's hugely. Oh, you don't have any rifle actually. So let's give you. I think we set the Potsdam ones. That's nice. And you guys likewise will get the Potsdam one. The land pattern then is out of the picture, and we're not going to be using that anymore. We're not going to use the Neustadt. They're just super slow, and I don't think their range advantage is that much of a advantage. The worn muskets, of course, are completely out. That means we can sell a couple of things here. Let's actually sell them to the gunsmith. Why not? And that's going to be the... Weird that the pattern here is different than on the other one. So we're going to certainly sell the worn ones. I think we're going to sell the land pattern ones. We're going to sell the Yongping, because that's just not good. What about the Neustadt? Yeah, they're super slow. We've got one more land pattern. One more land pattern. I think it's okay to keep one of these guys around. Sell the other one. Gonna get back the amount of money that we spent on like 2 of these. Okay, I like that. These are being so good. Losing words for that. I mean, even these guys at 15 seconds, that's really good. 24 seconds, but man, 6 seconds. The only thing is we really want to make your shots count, because once you're in a position, you're going to be burning through your ammo so quickly. So at some point, I guess we're going to use a supply wagon so that you can actually continue doing what you're doing. But yeah, that's nice. Okay. I think the rest of these guys are still okay-ish. I don't think we need any of this stuff. March, morale, stamina, bit of cover, melee damage. Well, I guess we could reduce melee damage over here on the cuirassiers. I think we have the money for that. Keep you a bit longer in the fight. That's I think a good do. These we'll keep for events. Not sure what we want to do with the Charleville here. It's just so slow. I would like some good accuracy, but it's gonna be alright for now. Can we get something more that increases your accuracy? Sorry, your reload. Certainly not on the stable. Not on the gunsmith side, although I'm eyeing that soccer there. Over here, well, we do have the cylindrical ramrods. I think are super useful. The only thing is that they're not good. I think they're going to keep on being useful, so we're going to buy these and give them to you guys. What do we want to replace that with? Accuracy, fire damage received. I think we can do that, right? Accuracy +4, accuracy +2. We're going to lose a little bit of accuracy, but again, going to gain a bit of fire speed. Which means we're probably going to give you better accuracy. Stamina is a bit of an issue, but it's alright actually, I think. Yeah. So we don't need that maybe. Just give that to you. It's a bit of a loop-sided situation where our musketeers actually morph the sharpshooters, where these guys are just sort of losing off volleys, although their accuracy is too. I'm almost tempted to buy another slot here, just to, for example, give stuff like this to them, just so that they can get into a good position. But yeah, right. You guys, the recruits, I mean, stamina and movement speed wouldn't be the worst for you. Yeah, you're a bit shy on that. And the fire damage received, I mean, it's okay. but really not that critical, I believe. Could buy stuff here, but you're not really going to be exposed to them. Okay, so I think that's alright-ish. I know it's been quite a couple of minutes, but this is so exciting to me to find that out. Let's spend a bit more money on ammunition and on supplies there. I think that's a good choice. Do we want to get this? Charge 10. I think so. Yeah. Let's buy it. Let's do a couple of good things here for our grenadiers. Yeah, just look at that. 73. I like that. And we can sell this. Right, good. Staff College. I was considering getting this guy over here for veterans. 85. I think we still have money for that, right? And I would like my units to level up a little bit faster. And we're going to pull in more units over time. So I think that's always going to be something that we can put towards some of the older units. How much do you need to level up for? We've got 2. How much do you need to level up? What would that actually do for us? Slightly better reload. Horse artillery. I mean, it sounds like they're going to be fast, but I don't think we need that right now. I'm also thinking that at some point we need a better gun. I would also love to get a good sword here. Like the Cuirassier sword, the Palache. They're good swords over here to be had. Good Hussar sabers. I mean, if you're going to splunge out for that, you might as well go this, right? Great melee. But I think at that point we don't have the money anymore. That's fine. Right, you know what? Let's get this guy. Anything else that we might want to get? Morale and melee damage. Don't think we need it. It's good, but you've got something already. The basic treaty. It's the basic version of this. Don't think it's. Okay, let's get you. I like that. I like to have that guy. What are we gonna? Yeah. Actually, the shoes. I know we just gave that to them. Oh, you know what? The casualty reduction. Just level up. Go through your damages. That leaves us with a bit of things. We could sell them. I don't think we need to. Nothing that I would require that much. Even though I would love to have these. You could sell this. You know what? We're going to sell this. Yeah, it might come in useful during an event, but I haven't seen that event yet, so... Change that. Cost us some money. Getting ready. 18 instead of 12 and 6. I like it. 10 and 6. I think that's alright. I guess we could give that to our... We can't. Interesting. Why is it even there? Well, anyway. Are we going to keep it in case we get something? No, I don't think so. It's almost paying for itself. No. No, no, no. You don't have the money. Barracks don't. You. There we go. Okay, more money. Good. Are we satisfied? I think a little bit more supplies. A little bit more ammo. There we go. Let's go to this battlefield. See what we've got over here. There's another outpost over there. Another village over there. That's cool too. Right. On the far meadow, our allied cavalry have met the enemy's horse. Squadrons wheel and trade cuts, carabines crack at close range, and pickets scatter along the hedgerows. We may put in our cavalry and press the affair, at which the allied cavalry will dress on us and join our forces. Clash. Suffer attrition, likely chance to rescue a cavalry regiment. Requires 1 light. Or trot the heavy cavalry forward. Suffer 5% attrition. Which of course is much better. And recruit 1 cavalry regiment. I think we're gonna try to do that. Freikorps Provincial Cavalry. Okay, that's good. I like the Provincial Cavalry because these guys are gonna turn at some point. Now I'm regretting that I did just sell these sabers, but I couldn't really expect that. Right, let's make sure that you're gonna get some benefits here, morale and stamina. You could do better. At some point we're gonna get you some rifles, and then we're gonna try to get you on the... Oh, no, it's Freikorps. You're gonna turn into Freikorps Hussars. Well, I guess it's okay. We can live with that. Right, next thing. Yes, go to the outpost, right? Still have a couple of days until the enemy arrives. Losing an enormous amounts of men. We can put in garrison, delay the enemy, dismantle the thing. Would I be gaining that much in a week? I think I would. The only question is, what am I going to do in that week? I could loop around here, hope that I'm going to find a couple of encounters that are going to be useful. Recruit a couple of people in this village. 550. That's not that much. That's not that much. Yeah, we are short. But 550, that's just 60 thalers. Freikorps Provincial Cavalry, Freikorps. Quartermaster, just checking. There's going to be stuff that I really want to have, but again, don't have the money right now. So that's gonna need to be fine. Get these people. We've got 20 days left. We're gonna lose basically these 1,000 men in that time. Really hoping that we're gonna find something else. Winter is coming. Still sufficient provisions. Okay. That's interesting. So we're gonna lose more of that. Potentially. Conduct a passive search. Or likely chance contrabands found. Let's do that. Day passes, we seize 3 weapons. Light Circuits, Potsdam, and Delft. Okay. That's interesting at least. Now, you guys have gotten better stuff there. So, I suppose we're gonna give this to you. The Potsdams are nice. We're gonna keep them around. Land pattern. I don't think we're gonna keep the Delft around. That's gonna be all. So, get into this little village. Sell stuff there. Town square. Sell stuff. Not much, but you know, we're paying for our people that we basically got rid of earlier. Now, these Bibles would be nice, but I don't think we can port them right now. Barracks, just checking in what we've got here. Musketeers, they would be nice. But yeah, Quartermaster. Ooh. I want to have it. Ooh, I really want to have that. Reload +6 as compared to reload +2. Remember, we are nearing the point where we can shoot stuff off instantly. But I don't have the money, do I? Could if I sold a couple of things. You know what? We're going to double down on that. We are completely going to double down on that. 5.2 seconds. I'm going to call these guys the machine guns, really. Accuracy or move speed? Let's go for that. That's also going to increase our stamina slightly. Don't think the move speed is going to be that useful for anyone else. You guys, that's move and stamina. I think I like the stamina better. That's alright. Really short on money now. Guess I could sell the shoes. Gonna do that. Would love to get that. Don't think we can. It's just useful for another 5% and a bit of morale too. Cover bonus and melee damage. These can be super I guess you can build so many things in this game. But yeah. Let's visit the fort. I don't think we're going to start anything. Oh. We're going to capture these guys too. Capture the officers, ransom them off, $100. Change for another officer. Now, I would like to have an artillery guy, but I don't think that's going to be the case. So we're going to get a bit of money. We're going to try to catch these guys. That's another outpost and a supply cache. Lovely. They're actually fewer than us, musketeers, recruits. But I think this is going to give us a nice chance to try out our new setup of the rapid fire guys. I think I'll need to hold their fire, otherwise they're actually going to chew through their ammo so quickly. That's the slight disadvantage of just having 600 men, because they only carry 60 ammo. Ammunition 100%. We'll need to check that, truly. Right, let's take a look at the enemy. I didn't really do that before. Hussars, a couple of recruits and musketeers there on the left. So, interesting. They're going to come towards us, I believe. It's a bit of a busy map. There's a lot of cover there. I don't think I want that cover, because they would be advancing through the cover too. So I think we're going to be better off by looking at sort of this area here. Yeah, that I think I prefer. Freikorps Grenadiers. Let's pick the field artillery. You know what? Let's throw all the guys over here. You can unlimber. And be ready. Cavalry here on the left. Britrick right over here. Yep, let's go with this. Right, cavalry I'm actually going to pull a little bit over there. And then you guys sort of all move up over here, so that. And you know what? You can limber back up. And move over. We're up. Yep. And move over here. So, Freikorps Jägers. You know what? We're going to use them a little bit more on the flank, because I really want to make their ammo count. Just recruits. You are actually going to be up here. You can run, please. You guys can stay down here. That's what we want to do? Yeah. Freddy, come up over here. Let's see. I'm excited about this, guys. Not sure why it says 7 seconds. Oh. Why is that? Fire received. Why do we get you in a live information? That's something that influences that. Or do you actually need to actually be... No, you are under the influence of your general there. Get the artillery on the hill. Cavalry. Up over here. No, it's still down to 7 seconds. Why did the game lie to us? Combat effectiveness. I think what we're not seeing is maybe the advantage. No, I don't know. Don't actually know. Well, let's go back to an open formation. And I guess we can accept on here a little bit. Right, recruits here. Please, line formation. So, yeah, I guess I suppose we can just rearrange below that. They're actually not attacking us. There they are. They're just being very systematic about it. Right, you can unlimber. Now, please. Then you're going to be starting to shoot. I guess at the ones in the open. Okay, a couple of hits there. Not really that accurate. I would have hoped that to be a little bit better. Right, at a time. It's time for that. Interesting. Why aren't they attacking? I would have thought that they would be attacking. There they come. Once these guys do come out of the woods, I think I'm going to shift fire over there. Because they are just a bit more dangerous than the recruits. Still are in pretty good cover though. Let's shift fire over here so that the hussars might be getting hit too. Weren't lucky there. They're being very systematic about that. That's interesting. They certainly weren't before. I do see shots landing over there from the other artillery. Shift over here. Okay, lost a good number there. That's lovely. Right, you guys, I want to have you on the flank. So that the veteran musketeers front of the fire there. And then you guys come over there. Are you a line? Sometimes weird that they can be a bigger line if they could just being so inclined to do. Right. Interesting that they are so slow to advance, even despite us lobbing artillery into their rank. Okay, that must have hurt. Right. Okay, they're now facing us down here. Move a bit further to the back. Move you guys up a little bit. Ooh. Oh, oh, oh. No, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Try to get into these houses. Because I would not like to fight against the hussars. I would very much like to fight against these guys. We might actually get off a couple of volleys against the hussars though, if they do charge. Battle is gonna break out over here soon. Just too good an opportunity, I do think. Yeah, these guys were beaten back just like that. You guys are in a bit of a firefight here. Right. Let's get the hussars over here quickly. And then you guys shoot at them. And we're gonna watch that. Come on, come on. Look at that. They're gonna get off another volley at least. Now, what I don't like is that we're gonna be shot in the face here. But come on. Shoot! Shoot! Yes! Yes! Lost half of their men. Now we're gonna lose quite a bit more. But still, that was a fantastic... we're being charged in the back again and again. Right. He's also driving them off. That's lovely. Freddy? Go ahead. Bam, shattered. Just, I think that was these guys. Right, let's use the continuous recruits to charge into there. Freikorps Grenadier, yeah, you can continue doing that. These Freikorps Jägers, I would really like these guys to have more experience. So let's get in a good formation. Let's try to get out of here before these guys fire. They're gonna fire at the Grenadiers anyway, that's okay. Grenadiers don't really... Okay, guys. Launch your attack there. Ah, they were retreating. Well, still, I think it vindicated our concept. Even in the worst sort of circumstances, against an enemy charging with cavalry into our skirmishes, which was entirely my fault, that was still a good thing. Oh, and saddle, I don't think we've got that. Spirits, that's also going to be nice. All in all, I think we are fine. We don't necessarily have a lot of men, but I'm still going to go with the ammunition would be nice. Casualties restore would be nice, but I do think I'm going to pick that for the provision, and the veterancy is going to be super useful, I think. Yeah, the artillery here almost can be promoted. These guys can be promoted to horse artillery, actually. And the Cantonist recruits down here cannot get to Prussian musketeers yet. That's fine. Now, the interesting bit is, are we going to get anything here that is good for us? Cover effectiveness at the cost of charge. Combat effectiveness, no. Deployables, no. I really want to double down on the accuracy bonus. So that's what we're going to try to do. Right. Are we going to turn them into horse artillery? I think so. It sounds fun. I don't know what that does. I guess it's going to make them into sort of a flying battery. But we're going to be seeing that. I don't know. Cantonist recruits again 4. Could go the Lat Milites into Grenadier, but I think we need at least 2 sort of solid infantry line. I would feel much more confident. We're so cavalry happy. Speaking of, someone can get saddles, right? Melee damage and move speed. That sounds like a you thing. Like that. Good melee damage. The charge at the cost of accuracy is also something that would be very nice for you. Move speed and stamina, that's good. Melee damage received. Stamina, melee damage received, stamina at the... You're gonna get the spirits. Please don't be too drunk when charging. That stuff we can sell off. Yeah, good. Okay, you know what? Been way too long. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Do let me know what you think of our super fast shooters over here. And also why it doesn't seem to be 5 seconds, but rather 7 seconds. I guess something is not being accounted for here. I'm guessing the doctrines. Especially the shoot and scoot. Maybe that's not there? I don't know. I enjoyed that very much. Thank you guys for watching. See you around next time.